it's Brendan. Message from the Audit Man. I'm with Zeb. Mate, that's a very interesting name. Is that so you've been Tassie your whole life, or you have? So when you first started out and you were a young little chap as Zeb, what did you think you were going to do with your life?
I really had no idea.
You had no idea.
Went through school and done a TAFE course where I've done a bit of everything. And
So which school did you go to, if you don't mind me asking?
went to the West Coast.
Okay.
Mountain Heights High School then.
What was it called, sorry?
Mountain Heights.
Mountain Heights. I'm assuming there was about 50 to 60 students, or?
Oh no, there was about 400 back then.
Oh wow. Okay. And so you basically, from what we've been talking prior to obviously getting on board, you're actually in the mines.
Yep, in now.
And how long were you in the game for with mining?
Been working underground since I was 18, so...
Oh really? Oh my gosh. So is it? I've actually spoken to quite a lot of miners, from Venture Minerals to the Grange, and what's interesting actually, part of taxi services, when you guys need parts in a hurry, you get people like us to drive it to you guys. Which I actually did my first job to Nelson Bay. Oh, it's out past going towards Queenstown.
Oh.
Yeah, and I actually had no idea what the part was. All I know was in the back seat, and I just drove, drove to get there.
When we need something in a hurry, we
Yep.
say do a rocket run.
Yep. And that's exactly what happens, mate. We're the ones that given that exciting part to getting it to you guys. So in the mining operations, obviously there's a lot of different types of work. So obviously there's the drivers that carry the ore. You got people that obviously do the blasting.
Yep.
People that do the scooping of the ore, and then obviously you got the actual the factory itself, which does the processing work. Have you worked in all those different areas?
Never worked in the mill.
Yep.
All I've ever done is underground.
Underground.
So.
And I also heard from people that actually work underground is that you guys have your own little lunch section area there, so it's already been built into the actual mine.
Yep.
That you've got your own little lunch area. It's got your TV, fridge, and all that sort of different things there for you.
You've got everything there, just like normal. Most people have in a normal lunchroom. You've got all your tables and
chairs and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. And I also heard that the air systems that you've got is always constantly pushing fresh air down lower and lower and lower, because your temperature is always getting hotter and hotter and hotter. Is that correct? So you like cold air as much as possible down there. So if it's 2 degrees up on the surface, what's the average temperature down underground?
With Rosebery, it varies a lot. Top part of the mine will still be cold,
Yep.
but when you get down the bottom, you might be up in your 40, 50 degrees.
40 to 50 degrees. So you'd literally be stripping off all your work gear to your basic elements.
If you're allowed, yes.
If you're allowed.
If you're allowed.
So you have to cope with 40, 50 degree temperature down there.
But when it gets that hot, we have work limits.
Yep.
So you're only allowed in that area for
A period
a
of time.
period of time, and then you have to come out.
So the trucks that you guys, like, let's say you're doing the moving the ore, you'd have air conditioning in the trucks, wouldn't you? So you could manage that all day and all night. Wow. And I also heard, I don't know if this is correct, and I think this is a good template to talk about, that once you finish the section, so let's say it's F level, and you've gone as far as that vein goes, do you then use those old areas that you're not going to use or build anymore, and that would be your backfill of all your dirt and all that sort of stuff? So you're basically doing reclamation work as you actually mine. Wow. And there's a lot of that product coming from the mill coming back down into the mine?
We do use some of the waste from the mill that comes back in. Normally that's mixed with cement.
Oh wow.
And then for, like you were just saying, old areas are mined out that we'll
Wow.
fill with that. So.
And
Sorry, I should have told you to turn up there.
oh, sorry, that's
Keep
okay.
going, son.
Oh, I can go up that way. That's all.
No,
That's all. That's no stress. So another thing, which is I think is going to be an interesting question to ask, is if you've you guys obviously for safety wise, you've got your concrete bracing that you actually put around that each shaft. Is that correct? Or is it like a different mesh or something like that?
Yeah,
that you guys
you usually use mesh and bolts.
bolts?
So just think of a giant roof and nail with sheets of mesh, and we put them into the rock, and each bolt holds 15 to 20 tonne.
Really? It holds that much weight. So obviously you have family.
Yeah.
So what do they think about what you do for a living?
Well, I've always done it.
Yeah. So there's nothing unusual to them.
No.
Have they ever been concerned or worried, and worried what could happen, or that's never come into their thought process?
I've become accustomed to it. So.
Wow. Well, mate, look, I appreciate learning a little bit about the mine operation. I appreciate what you guys do. I know we were having a chat a little bit earlier about all different types of businesses and work out there. So before we finish, I should ask, what does your partner do?
She actually does office work for a registered training company.
Oh wow. Oh wow. So she gets to help people learn about new ways of doing things, while you work underground getting the stuff that we need to grow our country.
Yeah, a lot of people don't look at it like that though.
What do people do you think look at it like?
A lot of people. I actually worked overseas for a little bit too.
Yep.
And I saw the way that they do their environmental side of stuff.
Yep.
Where there is none. They just dump whatever they want, wherever they want.
Do they really?
Yeah, it's terrible. It really is terrible. But it's almost like people think it's not my backyard, it's out of mine, it's out of sight. They don't worry about it. Whereas the levels of legality we're held to,
Yep.
where we have to have so much money put aside in a separate account for reclamation work,
Yep.
and we're held to a
Highest standard.
Yeah.
Yep.
So not only are we creating jobs here for people, but also on the environmental side, in the long run, so it'd be a lot better too than shipping it off to other countries.
See, this is the thing that I don't get. I think it's good that we've got a miner that we can get your opinion on. I had all these people saying, "Oh, Queenstown's disgusting." I don't consider Queenstown disgusting. I think what they've been doing with their reclamation, going right, what they're doing with the reclamation, mate, is absolutely unbelievable. They said, "Oh no, there's no trees growing down there. It's absolutely disgusting." Well, the last time I was in Queenstown, I saw a lot of trees. I saw a lot of green grass. I saw a lot of different things that all these people are saying didn't exist down there. I think this, what I personally think, I think the media out there is very biased. They want to say certain things to make what you guys do look worse than what it is. And if people were actually telling the truth, they'd be actually praising our mining operations for the fact that we do reclamation, that we do actually adhere to a higher standard, and that people should be thanking the fact that we do that to protect our land and the state that we live in.
Oh, absolutely. You have to see what other countries do compared to what, and even Queensland is in. That's bad mining practices from 120 years ago.
Yep.
The mining company is still spending millions of dollars each year
Fixing.
Yep. Where other countries, they just walk away from.
That's right. Yep. So when you actually were overseas mining and all that sort of stuff, and you saw what they were doing, how did you actually overcome the urge to say this is just absolutely crazy? Did you just put your head down, bum up, keep working, and not think about it, or?
Everyone who saw it saw the same thing and said the same thing. This is terrible, but you were just one cog in the wheel, unfortunately. And if you didn't like it, they just said, "Well, there's the door."
Unbelievable. So they were putting profits over the environment, whereas in Australia we believe being responsible, you can actually earn more money but still have the responsibility of reclamating and doing the right thing environmentally.
Yeah, we actually have laws in place that hold companies accountable, and whether they like it or not, it doesn't matter if a foreign-owned company owns
said they had to do it that way. Well, once again, it just shows you the difference in how we do it compared to the rest of the world. And I think the sooner that if the other countries come to us to see what we do and why we do it the way we do it, I think it's going to be all the better for everybody else. And once again, it actually, I actually think they should bring a lot of the Aussie miners out to those locations and show them how they can actually do a better, they can get a better job done, a lot cheaper and a lot more productive. I think Australians have skills that a lot of other countries don't have, and they have an ability to get the work done a lot faster and a lot more effective. Mind you, I don't believe that with councils, but with companies like mining operations, every day they know that when they go in there, they've got to get a set job done. It doesn't just affect you; it affects the whole team. They say there's no I in team, but there is ME, being part of the team. Well, once again, guys, just want to thank Zep for talking about obviously what he does. Like I said, this is all about helping people and out what real Aussies are like and what we do for a living. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask us questions. Other than that, this is Brendan. Message from the Ordinary Man. Have a great one. We'll talk to you soon.